Yo guys, welcome back to GRIZZ Zombies. I'm Violent, I'll be your guide. Welcome. It's been a little bit. We got another zombie file for you today, this time on the Battle of Stalingrad. As you know, Stalingrad happened from July 17th, 1942 to February 2nd of 1943. It was one of the biggest battles of all time, and we want to talk about it and how in the world is it in our campaign. We're playing the mission Demon Within. And inside that mission, towards the end of it, you're going to come across a zombie scene where you have to actually fight some zombies. So I wanted to cover this as well, because I haven't covered this in my guides through the campaign at all. So the campaign here itself does have zombies, just for a little segment. And so let's talk about the Battle of Stalingrad a little bit, because what you're seeing outside of the map that I keep looking at is actually Stalingrad. I'll show you some buildings here in a second, but let's first talk about this. The Battle of Stalingrad was a successful Soviet defense in the city of Stalingrad. Now it's called Volgograd, in the USSR during World War II. Russians consider it to be the greatest battle of their Great Patriotic War, and most historians consider it to be the greatest battle of the entire conflict. It stopped the German advance into the Soviet Union and marked the turning point in the tide of the war in the favor of the Allies. The Battle of Stalingrad was one of the bloodiest battles in history, with combined military and civilian casualties of nearly 2 million deaths. A lot of people. This was a dirty, dirty war, and you can see some of the wreckage, and I'll show you some pictures now of the wreckage of what happened afterwards. The city was next to completely destroyed. If you'll give me a second, let me just explain how the Battle of Stalingrad came to an end. It did halt at some point, and it was mid-November of 1942. 1943 is when it ended in February. The invaders were stalled, so the Germans were stalled at a certain point, and they could have fought their way out, but Hitler ordered them at all costs to stand their ground. And so it kind of lasted for a little while, but they were running out of food and ammunition, and the Russians, the Soviets, they were used to winter already, you know, the Russians are used to it being cold, so they could outlast them, and they had resources, whereas the Germans didn't. They were supposed to stand their ground, and they were going to await resupply from the 6th Army, which they were going to drop crates from the air, which would feed them, but there was nothing that came, so they ended up surrendering after a certain point. 91,000 men remained left, I believe, and 150,000 died during that battle. And that's just the estimated total of the Germans that died during the Battle of Stalingrad. There was 2 million total, so the remainder of that is how many people, probably innocent people, died. This is what it really looked like. As you can see, the building structures and the way it's torn down perfectly resembles this map in the campaign. And lastly, I should shout out the guys that helped me with all this research, Mepsi and Dynamic. Both of them have been helping me big time. Stalingrad, it may be useful information for you to take into the future. DLC 3 seems to be all about it. So I hope you guys found this information useful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Violent out.